Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm reviewing the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Foundation, and I'm very tempted to say the new Charlotte Tilbury Magic Foundation, but this has actually been released in the UK for like the past 6 months now, but it just released in the US about a week ago, so this is a brand new foundation to the US. We have not been able to get our hands on it unless we've traveled to Europe somewhere, and then it was definitely available there, but let me just say I have been so excited. I wanted it the day it launched in the UK. Like, I was seriously like, how can I get my hands on this? This looks so amazing. And I am such a fan of Charlotte Tilbury's work. I love her YouTube channel. I love watching her videos. And this was my first ever Charlotte Tilbury purchase, mainly because her products aren't as available in the US as they are in Europe. And I believe they're only sold in stores at like really high-end department stores like Barney's. And we just don't have that in Tennessee. So I've been so excited to try this out. I got it in about 5 days ago and I've been using it ever since. This is her second foundation in addition to her Light Wonder foundation, which was like a really lightweight, glowy foundation. It had about a light to medium coverage to it. This is the complete opposite. I will read you the description. It says a full coverage, demi-matte, long-lasting foundation enriched with hyaluronic acid, mushroom extract, and the concentrated power of vitamin C. If you have, I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen this already talked about on YouTube. A lot of beauty bloggers have this, European beauty bloggers, European makeup artists, and it's been very much hyped and very much talked about on YouTube, and so I'm finally excited that I am able to share my review. So I'm going to do the demo last, and there is a reason for that. You guys will pick up on that as I tell you a little bit more about how this worked for me. I'm not going to beat around the bush. I want to make this short and simple because this is the hardest review I have ever had to do. I've already filmed this twice, and the best way I can describe this is I'm going to tell you guys my experience with this foundation in the most humble way possible. So let's go ahead and just talk about my experience. I'm not going to talk about the shades or the pricing. You guys can read that on her website, and I will have that listed down below. But let's go ahead and get started. I purchased the shade number 5, which is medium. It matches me almost perfectly when I am self-tanned. I will say that it's a little bit on the peachy side. I should have probably went with a 4.5 or a 6. Those were a little bit more on the yellow side, but I chose medium because it was like a good in-between color between actual medium foundation and a lighter foundation. I also purchased the brush that went with the Magic foundation, and it's called Magic Complexion. So I want to start out with this. This I just decided to purchase because I always saw Charlotte Tilbury using this in her tutorials, and it always looked like it applied the foundation magically. So I decided to get this, and immediately when I got these two products in, I used the foundation with the brush. I could tell right off the bat I did not like this brush. It's very stiff, and it almost is a scratchy application. It also sheds, which I'm okay with because Bobbi Brown foundation brushes shed, Bare Mineral brushes shed. I'm used to that, but this shed so much that I was just like constantly picking out stuff, you know, little hairs on my face, and it almost seemed to apply what I thought first to be very patchy, and there was a reason for that, and I will talk about that in just a second. But overall, I did not love this brush, and I feel like definitely my my IT Cosmetics Complexion Perfection brush applied this a lot more smoother and a lot quicker too. This seemed to like stall my application because the brush is so small compared to you know, a regular size foundation brush. So yeah, I would say if you are interested in trying this out, just try it without ordering the brush first, and then if you feel like, you know, the brush will work for you and you like that style of brush, go for it. So let's talk about the application. I mentioned just a second ago that I initially thought that the brush was the problem to the patchiness during my application process. And I later came to find out that I think it's the formula of this foundation. It seemed that no matter how much of this foundation that I applied to my skin, there would be somewhere on my face that what didn't have coverage or was like see-through, like the foundation hadn't adhered to my skin. And you guys know when you apply a foundation that's supposed to be full coverage, like it's full coverage. It masks everything. And it seemed like when I watched her tutorials and her use this on people, she used it on a woman who had a very large birthmark on her face, and it covered it tremendously. And it seemed like in those videos, the pigmentation level was exquisite, like super high. You could tell that it was covering immediately. And I don't know what the deal is, but I felt like the pigmentation level in this foundation just was not there, and that's why it was applying so uneven to my skin. Now, I will say that this foundation was supposed to be made for people more on the combination side, so I did make sure to prep my skin with the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream and make sure I had a really hydrated base. But this just applied so uneven to me no matter how much I applied, and so that was the first thing that I noticed. The second thing I noticed was that you guys know when you apply foundation, almost right off the bat you can tell, man, I like this foundation, or don't think this foundation is going to work for me. And because I experienced that, you know, kind of patchiness and that unevenness and the lack of pigmentation, I almost immediately was like, this was not what I was expecting. But I wasn't ready to give up on it 100% yet. So like I said, I've been wearing this for the past 5 days now, and I've tried several different application techniques with this product. And really the best so far has been my MAC number 6 oval brush. And you will see me use this in the demo. This applied it the most even out of any brush that I have used. But something about this formula just is not working with adhering to my skin or sticking to my skin or covering on my skin. So needless to say, I have to do a lot of work on top of this foundation. I've been using my BECCA Ultimate Coverage Concealing Creams, and then I have to use my Lorac Perfection powder on top of it, because this powder will make anything look good. Like you guys know I've raved about this powder. This will make anything look flawless on your skin. And the reason my makeup is translating so well on camera right now is for this powder. I don't want you guys to mistake it for being the foundation. It is the Lorac Perfection powder, and you guys will see how this foundation looks on my skin without the powder in the demo. So do you guys see why I have had such a hard time filming this video? It really almost upsets me because I had such high hopes for this foundation, and I'm trying to find positive things to say about it. And I know it's not a terrible foundation, it's just not working for me. And that's the simplest way that I can put it. I want to talk about the longevity. It does seem to be a very long-lasting foundation. It lasts on my face throughout the day, but if your foundation doesn't look good to begin with, it's not going to get better throughout the day. So it's kind of like I'm wearing foundation that I don't really even like, but it is staying on my skin. I will give it credit for that. It stayed on my skin. I mean, I didn't find that it you know, came off by the end of the day or anything like that, but for the past 5 days that I've been using it, I have been unhappy with my makeup every single day. And the reason being for that is the foundation, to put it in the nicest way, this is so hard. This is so hard to do, you guys. To put it in the easiest way, the foundation just doesn't look good on my skin. When I look at myself in the mirror, I can see my pores all throughout here. It really settles into my forehead. I don't know if you guys can see like my lines in my forehead more throughout here. My chin, it settles right here, and it almost ages me, if that makes sense. Like, it almost makes my skin look older, and that is not something anyone wants in a foundation. So I'm trying to round this out in a positive vibe, and the only way I can, you know, leave this is that you know, I do have a very dry skin type, and I do understand that this foundation was made for more of a combination, you know, skin type. So I don't want to say, you know, don't go out and buy this foundation because it didn't work for me, because I never say that in reviews. I just want to give you guys my personal experience, and if you do have a similar skin type to me, which is normal to dry, then, you know, maybe it will make you think twice about trying it. So long story short, this just did not work out for me, and I can't make it work. a lot of foundations that, you know, are just okay on me or don't seem to really work well, I can, you know, find concealers that work with them and then powders that will make it look decent. My Lorac Perfection always does a good job of that. But no matter what I do, I don't feel happy with this foundation on my face. I just don't. I look at myself in the mirror right now and I don't like the way it looks. It's not the way that I would wear my foundation ever. So yeah, it didn't work out for me. I'm just going to go ahead and show you guys the demo right now. I feel like you might be able to see what I'm talking about in terms of, you know, the unevenness. I hope that translates on camera. It may not, but yeah, that is it for this review. I don't know what to do. I don't even know what to do on camera right now because I've never had to do a review like this, but I hope you guys can, you know, take my opinion for what it is. I'm not trying to be negative at all. I wanted this to work so badly, but it just didn't, and there's nothing I can do about it. So yeah, that is it. I'm just going to jump into the demo, and then that will be it for the video. If you have any questions for me, feel free to leave them down below. And yeah, I will get back to you if I didn't cover anything in this video, but I think I covered it all, and I will see you guys in the next one.
Alright, so I'm starting out first with the brush that was designed for the foundation, and I used 1 full pump on the brush only because that was the only amount that I could use with that brush to keep it from streaking on me. If I used half a pump or anything less, it just seemed to not cover and it seemed to be a lot more uneven. I'll go in and show you guys. I mean, it'll be very apparent. I went back and looked at the footage obviously now, and it's going to be very apparent where it was not adhering to my skin. But like I said, this is the shade number 5, and it's definitely a little bit too peachy for my skin tone. It matched me definitely better when I had a fresh self tan. This was about 3 days old, so it was a little bit too peach on me right here, but you know, I was able to work with it. So you'll see me go in and pick out a couple of the brush hairs right here. I'm going in. They just kept falling out, and so that's why the brush just ultimately was not going to work for me. And now I'm going in with the MAC number 6 oval brush, which this was my preferred brush for this foundation. It actually seemed to apply the foundation the best and actually made the foundation look a lot better on my skin, and I think you guys will see that compared to the side where I used the actual brush, and I used the same amount. I used a full pump with the MAC oval 6 brush, and it looks so much better on my skin in my opinion. But there will be spots still that it just didn't adhere to. So right here, I'm noticing that it's not sticking to my jawline. You guys can maybe see that right there. And here's a close-up. So do you see the white areas on my face? Can you guys look at my face right now? You can tell I'm not too happy. But do you see the white patches on my face? No matter what I did, that would not go away. I fixed the lighting right here to make it a little brighter. But that's always how it turned out. No matter what brush I used, I don't know what the deal was. So here's the full face. Looks so much better because I did go in with my Lorac Perfection powder, and it just fixed everything. But I was still having problems with the foundation right here along my jawline. But that was it. That is the foundation. If you guys have been using this foundation and you found a way that works for you, please let me know what you have done. I would love to know your suggestions, and I hope you guys enjoy the video. Thanks for watching. Bye.